Hey guys, Bakaki. Welcome to my new free-to-play series. In this series I'm going to look into making a farmable arena team, expanding into dungeons to develop the said arena team, and after that we'll start to look at things like my long-term campaign farming. I hope you enjoy. So first things first, we must choose our campaign starter. And I don't think there's any real option but the Kale. Kale just has more overall usability, so we'll go with the Kale. Now that we've chosen our starter and we've changed our name and avatar and all of that, our main focus will be going into the campaign. 3-starring everything all the way up until Durham Forest, while in tandem working on the missions. So always come into the missions and make sure we're doing everything correctly, and as much of it as we can do, of course. I feel like this is pretty self-explanatory, but the 3-star campaign you can only use 2 of your champions with no losses. So when you unlock the 3rd slot with the Crusader, just don't use him, just use the Sniper and the Kale. So we just 3-starred all of K-Rock Castle, which just gave us some free gear that we can put on our Kale, which also works well with the missions, also gives us XP banner. As you can see, equip a rare attack type champion. We'll quickly do that with Kale. Doesn't really matter what substats or main stats the pieces are here. Just quickly upgrade them all to level 4 and move on. Quickly keep checking the missions as you go. Just a quick tip here, this energy reward, it is not worth claiming, because as a free-to-play player or a new player, you gain levels so quickly, which will give you a higher overall energy pool. So hold off until you're around at least level 20, if you can, to claim the free energy rewards. Alright guys, so as you can see, we've just pulled a Year Man while doing some of the missions. Now normally this guy would be considered a mockery of a champion, but for an early game free-to-play player, this guy has some, well, at least one nice skill, which is the decrease turn meter by 20%. Now, this said, we will need to get 4 more copies of him and book him up to get the extra 15% chance, since it's so low. But leave in the comment section if you can guess where this guy will end up being used. Alrighty guys, we've made it to Durham Forest. I'm actually pretty excited because this is where we'll get our first arena champion. It's also where we'll be able to farm our Kale to level 4. Start training up all the food and eventually sacrifice it. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to get our first champion, but I'll check back in when it happens. So we've just unlocked the marketplace. You can find some useful stuff in there, potentially, not always. Okay, so quick update, we've just made the Kale level 4, and we are still hunting the first arena champion. Little bit of good news guys, we've picked up an outlaw monk. He can be used in clan boss when we get that up and running, so that's decent. Just a quick update guys, I've been here for a few hours now, it's starting to look very grim, the RNG is not with us. Hopefully soon. I've just come into the marketplace, and I've discovered in here an addition to our roster. Now Saurus isn't really good end game, but I do have uses for him along the way, which you'll eventually see. So we'll happily pick him up. Now he is farmable in stage 10 of the campaign, I believe. But when you can just pick him up for 44k, you may as well. That's a definite bonus, boys. Following up on the marketplace, make sure you constantly visit in here. There could always be some speed pieces. I'm not going to buy these, but you know, these pieces that you find in here can sometimes be very useful, assuming they have the correct stats to them. So it's very worth checking into. Whenever you get the chance, don't religiously, check here every hour. We are upgrading some gear for our swords. We think we'll be leveling him straight away, as he can help with the early campaign. And he can also be eventually turned into a campaign farmer, that's why we purchased him. Very good champion. As you can see, we've been doing a lot of farming. We haven't been rewarded from what we are seeking yet, but it'll come to. I'll be linking a guide to Cold Brew's Saurus guide in the description. From what I've seen, it's the best guide on Saurus and how to make him a campaign farmer. I hope people utilise this champion, it's really good.
2 hours later.
So as you can see guys, it's happened. We've picked up our Spirit Host. Now if you don't know much about Spirit Host, she has a speed lead about aura, ally speed in all battles by 10%. But what she's mainly used for is her strengthen ability. 25% unascended to attack, 50% when ascended. So if we go to our Kale, you'll see his damage is based on attack. So let's say Spirit Host goes first, uses her strengthen ability, ups Kale's damage. Okay, very simple. That is probably why Spirit Host is the best farmable champion overall, and a very nice addition to our arena team.